Hey my friend, today I'm gonna show you an epic chord progression. This is one of my favorites. I use it in a lot of places in my music because there's a lot of potential for originality, for melodies on top. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you 2 or 3 clips of where I used this chord progression in my music so you can hear how it sounds, and then I'm gonna talk more about it. So I'm gonna show you the title track from my album Space Culture and my most recent ambient sketch, and then I'm gonna dissect what that chord progression is. So basically, that chord progression is really interesting. If I show you using Roman numerals so that we can play it in any key we want, this is the root chord followed by the flat 6 chord, the 4 chord, and the flat 2nd chord. So basically, we are in a major key, but 2 of those chords do not belong to a major key. And that's what we call modal interchange, to borrow chords from different modes to add different colors to our progression. So in our case, we are going to borrow from the Aeolian mode and the Phrygian mode. So for example, if I pick any key, let's say E major. So the first chord is the root chord, so that has to be E major. And the second chord is the flat 6 chord. And in a major key, you don't have the flat 6 in it. Usually, it's a natural 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. So the 6 is natural. But now we're going to base the chord off of the flat 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this note does not belong in our E major key. We borrow it from the minor scale because the minor scale has the flat 6 in it, right? 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1. So we borrow it from the minor scale. So now we have the root chord, E major, and then we play on the flat 6, which is C, and we build a major chord. So we've got this and this after. It's like, what is it? It's the Phantom of the Opera, right? It's the same chord relationship right here. And what I'm doing after is that I'm gonna replicate the same movement, but starting from the 4 chord. So the 4 chord in my key of E major is A major, and then I'm doing exactly the same thing. So that last chord, the F major chord, is the flat 2nd in my scale, which once again does not belong to the major scale. The flat 2nd note is most often associated with the Phrygian mode because this is a regular minor scale, but this is a Phrygian scale. So that the flat 2nd, that little tension here, is really characteristic of the Phrygian mode. So that flat 2nd chord, that F, really is borrowed from a Phrygian mode. And what I love about this chord substitution here is that there's a strong attraction to my root chord. Tension, resolution, tension, resolution. So even if half of the chords do not belong in my major key, it does not make my key unclear because I have a strong attraction to my root chord at the end here, right? So we have 2 times the same movement. So in my key, this is E major, C, A major, and F. And what I love about this is that it has some great potential to create melodies using more chromaticism. Because if all of your chords of your progression stay within your key and you do not borrow from any other mode, you can just create a melody from the notes of your scale, right? So if I play an E major, I can just choose these notes. So my melody has to fall on these notes, because if it doesn't, there's a big chance that it's not gonna fit on top of my chords. But now, since I'm borrowing chords from different modes, I can use chromaticism. I can use notes that are outside of this scale here. So I could end up having a melody like this. Like, it sounds ridiculous just like this, right? It doesn't sound like a strong melody, but if I play the exact same chords, E, C, A, and F, that can sound like this. And we can still feel like we are in E major and that we come home at the end, even if I use all of this chromaticism. So there's a lot of potential to stretch the limit and play different notes and play more interesting things that go outside of your scales. And what I love about it too is that you replicate the same movement, like I said. So there's this one and this one. So this is pretty much a parallel chord progression in the sense that you take the first 2 chords and you just transpose them elsewhere on the fretboard. So it gives you the option of creating a strong motif that goes on top of your first 2 chords, and you can just transpose this motif and play the exact same motif on your last 2 chords. So this is exactly what I did in my song Space Culture. So this one was in the key of C major. So the same principle applies. So the root chord is C major. Then my flat 6 is here. This is A flat. And then the 4 chord, which is F. And then the last chord is D flat. So I have those 4 chords: C, A flat, F, D flat. Same distance between all chords, it's just a different key. So now what I did is I had a little motif on top of my C, A, and A flat chord. And I just had to replicate the same thing on top of my F and D flat chord. I just had to transpose it here. And since this one is the flat second, it just resolves so nicely to my root chord after, and I can go back and forth playing the same motif again and again. It's almost as if I was changing keys, but I'm just in the same key. It's just because of the modal interchange that it seems like we are in a different key, right? There's always a lot of ways you can analyze stuff, but this is how I view this chord progression. So to recap, you can use this chord progression for so many things to create cool melodies, to create cool motifs. So this is the root chord, the flat 6 chord, the 4 chord, and the flat second, like this. So you can use it like I did in E major, in C major, or in any key you want following the Roman numeral. So I hope you're gonna write some super cool music. Hey, thanks for watching until the end of this video. If you are new on my channel, I offer a gift to my new viewers, and it's my free mini course on ambient guitar chords. You can enroll for free by clicking on the first link in the description box. This is a 45 minutes video course on my website. You can download the chord charts, you can download the exercises. I'm gonna show you spread triad chords that are very useful to play ambient guitar music and create your own chord progressions and create chord melodies. There is so much potential with these chords. That's why I want to teach them to you entirely for free. So you can enroll by clicking on the first link in the description box. That is my pleasure. That is my gift to you. So thanks for watching, and until next time, au revoir, my friend.